Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. I have a modge podge of things going on today. It's Sunday evening. I'll be heading to bed soon, getting ready for the work week and all of the things. But right now I'm sitting here watching the storms roll in, getting ready to work on my potato chip blocks. Let me see, do I have them up here? Oh, I have them here. Getting ready to add the last two sides. So it's a count, I've got to square this one up, but it's a count of 3 that go on this side and a count of 3 that go on this side. So I have roughly 10 to 15 more blocks to complete. So I'm working on that. But what I came on here for today is I wanted to share some things that I just got from Amazon to work on my hydrangea quilt top, and then some things I got for slow stitching or hand stitching rather, and then some crazy quilt supplies. Not a lot, just anyway. So that's what we're getting into this evening. And then I don't think I know I won't be on this video long, and I won't be on this sewing machine long. Like I said, it's evening time already. I'm gonna be heading to bed soon in anticipation of the new work week. I'm already tired. A lot is coming my way. School let out in Loudoun County for the kiddos, and tomorrow begins my summer schedule. But it's also a busy time for me as I have to get records ready to transition to various schools throughout the county, and also for the multiple of students that have moved away from the area, and I've got to transfer their records. So I've got a lot to do in the next few weeks. I'm sipping on, that's so good, some hibiscus lemonade. That's my beverage of choice this evening. And then I may go make me a cup of dandelion root tea in a little bit. We'll see. So first, let me get into the goodies that I got from what I am calling my favorite local quilt shop right now. I've been to a few and was not impressed. Not so much with the quilt shop and the stock of fabrics and so forth, but with the owners and people running the stores. And this particular quilt shop, I try to give them at least 2 or 3 times before I'm just like, I quit. Let me go find another one. And this one, it's called Web Fabrics, and it's in Purcellville, Virginia. And this is my second time going to that shop. The first time, I was not impressed. I was impressed with the layout. I was impressed with the fabrics. I was impressed with the collections that they had. I was impressed with the wall of Kona fabrics. I was impressed with all of that. I was not impressed with the fact that I walked in the door and nobody greeted me. And I am huge on customer service. Like, it's such a sticking point for me. It's so important that I strive to give the absolute best customer service that I can give, no matter what job I'm working, right? Like, customer service can make or break a business. And so, hold on. Sorry, I am all in y'all's face and everything. But baby, a hot flash just hit me. And hopefully you can still hear me over that air. I pray. Because baby, I just got hot. I'm a real stickler, like I said, about customer service. It can make or break a business, in my opinion. And so when I walked in the very first time, nobody greeted me. Other people walked in, and I'm assuming that they knew those people already because they greeted them. They went into conversation with them. I'm afraid y'all not going to be able to hear me. Sorry, we're going to do this again. I just don't want to. Sorry. I'm hot, but I want y'all to be able to hear me. Oh, it's coming in fast now. They had conversation with the other people, and they were talking about all the quilts, and there's a road to Virginia, and they do a whole a bus tour. They go down to Richmond, Virginia, and they tour, I think it's a museum, a quilt museum. I'm not really sure. They were chatting about that and chatting about, their current makes and who was doing what and all of the things. And I walked by 3 or 4 times and no one ever said hello. So much so, no one ever said, is there anything I can help you with? You don't look familiar. Are you new around? Nobody said anything. I walked around that entire quilt shop and walked out. And then I sat in the parking lot and I gave a review. And apparently somebody was reading the reviews, because after I hit submit, it was read and they replied back and they apologized. And they apologized profusely. And, I just said, I'm going to give it another try. But I was not impressed that first time. So this time, it's a good 45 minute drive for me. This time I was like, okay, this time I'm going to go in and I'm not going to wait for them to be all giddy to have great customer service. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do it myself. And so this time when I walked in the door, someone did speak. They said hello, and they were having conversation with other people, but they did say hello. And from there, I spoke. I asked, do you carry this? Do you carry that? Where would this be? Where can I find that? There was a couple from South Carolina in there, and he said everywhere they visit, his wife makes him go to a quilt shop or 2 or 3. And this trip was no different. I have no idea why they were visiting here. This is graduation season, as you know, so I don't know if they were up here for a graduation or I don't know. I just know he said he ends up at all the quilt shops. And this was no different. So he was extremely friendly. And he was like, hi, how are you? He's a customer. And me and him, we just started chatting and joking and playing around, joking around. That's what I want to use. And then his wife was showing him some fabric. And she was like, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. And it's gender neutral. And then I look and I was like, oh my gosh, it is cute. It's got these little baby animals all over it. It really was gender neutral. It was very pretty. And she was like, well, I could put it with this and with this and with this. And I was like, yeah, and then you could use that and you could do that. And he was like, listen. He turned around, he said, listen. I said, what? He said, stop encouraging her. I said, you're in a quilt shop. He goes, and? I said, don't you know that's what quilters do? We encourage one another. And she just bust out laughing. She goes, we really do, don't we? I said, yes. I said, you've been to a number of them. You should know by now. He goes, but don't you encourage her. Don't, no. And I was like, listen, honey, if you like it, I say get it. And don't just get 1 yard. because she was looking at the 3-yard quilt books, and I said, don't just get 1 yard. So she ended up getting like 7 fabrics from that line. 6 of them, she got 3 yards each. And then the 7th one, I don't know how many yards she got, but she was going to use it as the backing for all of the quilts that she planned to make. So she got quite a bit of that 7th one. She's like, that'll go with all of them, and it's perfect for backing. And I'm sitting there cheering her on. It sure will. Looks great. So by the time they finished, I don't have a clue how much their total came up to, but when he got up to the register, he says, you were no help. And I just bust out laughing. I said, I beg to differ. I think I was all the help. Ask your wife. And she turns, she goes, yes, she was a huge help. Thank you so much. And he goes, you didn't help my pocket. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. You didn't tell me I was supposed to be helping your bank account. I thought I was supposed to be helping your wife, keeping her happy. He said, you were supposed to be on my side and helping my bank account. I said, oh, next time. He said, no. There will not be a next time. I said, you don't know. You don't know. I might pop up at the next place. He goes, no, you might encourage her some more. I said, and I will. So we had a good time, and they were getting back on the road, heading back to South Carolina today. So that was fun and hilarious. And then there was a couple of other ladies, and they got to talking about their current works, and then she got to talking about, oh, I know, she apparently knew the owner, and she's like, I know, I'm gonna get on my long arm. And then so the owner starts sharing with me. I convinced her to purchase a long arm, and I was like, oh, which one do you have? And she was like, the Q16, and I was like, really? I have the 21X Elite. And she was like, what? She's like, I wanted that, but I don't have the space for it, so I got the 16. And I was like, it doesn't matter which size, you're gonna absolutely love it. So then the owner is like, well, did you get the automation? And I'm like, no, I didn't get the automation. I'm still on the fence now about it because I'm learning to do edge-to-edge quilting, and I absolutely love it. Like, I don't know that I want to do automation now. I said, it's so up in the air. I said, the only reason I would want to do automation is if I had clients that I was trying to finish 2, 3, 4 quilts in a day. That would be the only reason I would get the automation. And I think at that point I would have a second machine. One would be doing the automation, and I would be doing my edge-to-edge quilting on the other. I said, because I thoroughly enjoy it, and I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I am and do. I think I was so intimidated by it that I thought there's absolutely no way I can produce beautiful quilts, you know, with edge to edge on my own. I said, but I'm finding that to not be the case. And so the other lady that just bought the 16, she said, really? And I said, yeah. I said, would it afford me more time to work on my projects if I had automation? Sure. But it's something for me to do my quilt myself from beginning to end. There's nothing like it. And she said, well, I may have to give that a try. So I talked about that. But this time around, I decided I was going to approach things differently, and I did. Now, that was a long story, and we didn't even get into the good part yet. But it is what it is. So, what did I get at Web Fabrics? I got some more Hexies, and these are the 1-inch, and I really got them because I wanted to see if the ones that I did on my own with my silhouette were the same size. And guess what? It is. So I have bought this pack, but I won't be buying anymore. I will be making them myself. So they are the same size, and this is a pack of 100, I believe. Yeah, 1-inch Hexies, 100 pieces. They had a pack that was $45, and wait, this one was $4.50, $4.50. They had a pack of 1-inch Hexies, and it was $45, and I think it was like 1,200 or 1,500 Hexies or something like that. And I was like, oh, we're not doing that. I'm just gonna see if these are the same size as the ones that I made, and if they are, I'm just gonna keep making them. And they are. So we're gonna keep doing that. And I got some glue refills because I glue based my Hexies. I do not thread based. Dana from Essence of Me, she prefers to thread based. That's just not my cup of tea. I'd rather sit there and glue baste them and keep on moving. So I got some glue refills, and I'm probably gonna go back and get more. I don't even remember how much these were. I don't remember. And I don't have my receipt in here. So anyway, I'll probably get more. I know I have about 6 of them in my little carry case. That's 6 more. I'm probably gonna go get some more and just have extras because I've been sitting and glue basting, you know, while I'm sitting and watching TV with my husband. I also picked up some more John James needles. I got 2 packs, 2 different kind. This one is, they're all, both of them, okay, this one says easy threading, and it is size 4 and size 8. And so these I'm gonna try with embroidery. We'll see. I really liked it because, and these were $4.95. It says John James Self and Easy Threading. I'm trying to see what's on the back, but the sticker might keep me from being able to read everything. If there's anything on here to read. No. Assembled and inspected in England. I didn't know that. But I got those. And then the other ones I got are called Gold and Glide Big Eye Quilting. These are a size 10. These suckers are tiny, but I'm gonna try them. And I like I said, the eye is big. Honey, these eyes, at one point they said I had cataracts starting, and then in like less than 6 months later they said no, it wasn't cataracts. I don't know what it is. What I do know is my vision is diminishing, and I need to go get some new glasses. These are my computer glasses, but I see better with these than I do with my other ones. So, all right. But what I really went there for was scraps. And I did not realize, now I've already opened these because I tried to record this video already, and it is what it is. I did scraps. I went there for scraps and did not realize that their scrap bags were color coded. They're not a mix. The fabrics are a mix, but the colors are not. And I did not realize that until I got to the last bag and opened it. And it had a little tag on there. And I was like, the other ones didn't have tags on it though. Hold on, let me show you. Okay, they came in these little bags, right? And I don't know what I did with the third bag, but they came in these cute little bags. They're ½ pound each. I got apparently a green bag, a yellow bag, and a pink bag. So let's roll with it. This one, I love it. And I don't think that I will be cutting this up to use in my scrap, in my crazy quilt block. I don't think. I may change my mind and use a bit of it, but I kind of want to use this in like bigger blocks, like so I could have a, like it could be a focal point of a block. This next one, same thing. I don't see myself cutting this one up. I think it's gorgeous. It's koi. It is a koi pond. Isn't that beautiful? Like, look at that. I think that is so pretty. And I don't see myself chopping this up to use in a crazy quilt. I just don't. I think I kind of want a fussy cut and let it be a focal point. Then I got several cuts of this one. It kind of reminds me, excuse me, of tie-dye. I don't have any cough drops around. Let me go get some cough drops. My apologies. We are all battling a cold or something. My husband was sick for about 2 weeks, and he still has a lingering cough. Then the grandsons got, we don't know if it's allergies or if they got a cold. I think the little one did have a cold. And then I started coughing. And I don't have a fever or anything, but I do have a cough. So it is what it is. But I have several pieces of this fabric. Look at the selvage on this though. I don't know why I think that is so pretty, but I think that is so pretty. So I think this is a verbena plant, but like I said, I have several pieces of that. And then this big chunk. And she said that there were anywhere from 3 inches to 17.5 inches. If she was not able to make a fat quarter, then it goes in a scrap bag. That one, I love these greens. And then came the yellow bag. And so that's a good size yellow. And then this one. The texture on this is, I can't even describe it. Can you hear it? It is not smooth. That glittery, it feels like it would come off, rub off on your hands, but it doesn't. So I'm thinking I will use this. I'm thinking, haven't confirmed that I'm going to do it, but I'm thinking I may use this as the center of my hexie flowers. That's what I'm thinking, because there's quite a bit of it. And then this one I think is so pretty. That is so cute. Apples, baskets, bushels and baskets of apples. And then the pink bag. Oh, this came out of the yellow bag too. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It came out of the pink bag. There's this. And the half-pound bag was $9. So now I just have to starch everything real good. I like that. and then press it. And what I'm thinking about doing, is that pretty? I'm thinking that I'm just going to lay them out, starch them really, really good, not drenching, but really well soaked through. Those are dragonflies. So cute. I love that. And then just let them sit and then press them the next day. So that may be my project for the week. And then there's that one. I love that one. So those are my scrap fabrics. And now that I know that the bags are labeled and color coordinated, I'm also going to ask if they have just a mix. Like, I don't want color coordination. I just want a mix of fabrics. They don't have to go together. They don't have to blend. I just want a whole mix of them. But there's that I got. And again, that was at Web Fabrics in Purcellville. I love the shop. I had a blast. I will be going back. Now let me show you what I got from Amazon. I have this unnatural obsession with Creative Grid rulers. I love the rulers, love them. But for the hydrangea blocks, you needed, or they recommended, the Ultimate Flying Geese tool. And so I've been wanting one of these forever. I have a Flying Geese tool by, oh gosh, what is her name? I cannot think of her name. Eleanor. I can't think of her last name. But she does Quilt in a Day. Her show was called Quilt in a Day. And so I have her tool. But you have to put the little grippy things on the back to keep it from sliding, and I don't like that. I love the Creative Grids rulers. One, because that QR code right there, that takes you straight to a video to show you how to use the rulers. But then they show you, if you just want to see from the directions how to use it, it shows you how to cut different sizes, what size your rectangles should be, and all of the things. This is gonna be a game changer for me, especially since I am so intimidated by flying geese. I think this ruler is going to be a game changer. So there's that. And that same QR code that's on the package is on the ruler. All of their rulers have these QR codes so you can find out how to use it. But it's also got everything in here. Listen. All of this is on this ruler. Okay? I mean, all of this information is on the ruler. If you lose this, it's on the ruler. If you lose this, the QR code is there. You can go to the video still. I love these rulers. I love the frosted back. I love that my eyes can see with these rulers. I love Creative Grid. They need to pay me. I love them. Absolutely love them. So I got that. And then probably could just rip it. I got a 1/4 inch hole punch. Why did I get a hole punch? well, you know what? I think they sent me the wrong one. Oh wait, no it didn't. Why did I get this? Because on the Hexies that I have used already, they had a hole in it, which made it so much easier to take them out. But my own, I don't have a hole in the center, but I do now. And so it's gonna be easier for me to be able to take these out when I'm done with them and then use them again. And then I noticed the ones that I bought, they don't have a hole punched in them either. And so I'm probably gonna let my grandson do it, give him something to do. He'll enjoy it. He'll think he's having just way too much fun, not realizing that I got him working. I'm okay with it. Okay, last one. So I got the 2-inch finished half square triangle papers. So when I went to Web Fabrics yesterday, that was one of the things I was looking for. They had 1.5 finished triangles. They had 6.5 finished triangles. They had 4, I think it was 4.5 inch. I don't know. What they did not have was the 2-inch finished triangles. So I had to go on and order that. So I have these, which will make it a lot easier to make my half square triangles for my flying geese. The precision. And then this one was not a necessity. That's not true. It's a necessity now. But I thought I'd splurge, and I got a needle threader. And this is by Clover. It's called a desk needle threader. Quick threading with desk needle threader. The feature works with a variety of sewing and quilting needles from fine to thick sizes. It works with needles at 0.51 to 0.89 millimeters thick. Oval eye needles. It does not work with embroidery needles, and it does not work with circular eye needles. So I have a ton of different fabric. It's time to go to bed. A ton of different needles that this will work fine with. But the instructions are in here. I've never used one before, but I am told that this is a game changer as well. We'll find out. I'll come on and do a review and let you know if that is the case. So I got that. So I think I am now ready to embark up on my 2 blocks for this month of the Hydrangea Bouquet block of the month. I think I have everything that I need to embark upon that. I will, as soon as I get the potato chip blocks completed and out of the way. I want those to be done because then I can work on my block of the month and also my crazy quilt blocks. Again, I think I showed this in a picture. I'm not sure that I showed it. Can't even remember if I showed it in the video. This is my very first one. after I did it, I was like, hey, that was kind of supposed to go together like a log cabin block. And in some areas I did that, and then in other areas I did not. Doesn't make it wrong. It's still doing what I wanted to do. But I know that for the next one, I'm just going to try to do it just a little bit different. But that's my first block. The next thing I am waiting on, I'm not getting it yet since I'm not even at that stage to start embroidering, but I need an embroidery hoop. And I found one that I like. I think I like, let's put it like this, is I don't have it. And it's called a Q-snap. And the reason I think I'm going to like it is because you can make it into a square, a rectangle, or what have you. And I don't want to put this into a traditional embroidery hoop and have creases on it. I don't want to do that. So what I'll end up doing is basting a piece of muslin around the edges to hold it in that embroidery hoop, the Q-snap embroidery hoop. And it will stretch out the entire piece, and I'll be able to embroider on it while sitting on the couch. And then when I'm done, I can take those basting stitches out and take that muslin and use it for another piece. But it will just lay the entire block out and not have it creased around an embroidery hoop. The entire thing will just be out. This was fun. This was fun. And I mean, I have to thank Dana. I really, really do. Not for the scrappy, because scrappy was never my thing, but for the mindless sewing projects. Like, it's just not a whole lot of thinking you have to do with the crazy quilt, the potato chip block. There's just not a lot of thinking you need to do. And so in this season of my life and busyness, that is kind of what I'm needing right now. The joy of being able to sit at my machine and stitch, but not having to do a whole lot of thinking about it. Still being able to accomplish what I like. Seriously, quilting is my therapy. I know I have a sign over there and it says it's my therapy. I cannot explain enough just how much it is. If I go 2 or 3 days, 3 days at most, when I get to the third day of not being able to come sit down, I start feeling the depression come on. I mean, that's just real talk. And so this is my therapy. This is where I sit. I mean, I'm praying throughout the day, period. But when I sit at this machine, I kind of unwind. I'm praying. I'm thinking through things. And then at some point, I am just in a zone. And it's just tranquil. It's like being on a beach to me. If I could take this machine with me and sit on the beach, I'd be okay. It would just be perfection for me. But sitting and sewing, that it is just, I don't know how else to explain it. It's my therapy. It is much needed. So, all right, guys, this video has gone much longer than I had anticipated, but I am glad to have been with you during this time, and I thank you for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have, the ramblings and all. And I think the next video I come on, it may be a week or two, I don't know, but I'll be showing you my completed potato chip blocks and going on to the next step. I'll be showing you more of the crazy quilt blocks. And maybe I'll do a live where I'm just working on hexies. I don't know. Or some embroidery stitches. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll let you know in the near future. All right, guys, I am going to call it done for tonight. I am going to shut everything down. Thought I was going to get on here and sew a little bit, but I'm not. I'm getting tired. I'm winding down for the evening. I do have to get up, not as early. I don't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but I do have to get up at like 6. It's still early to me, but not 4. So thank you, Jesus. Our summer hours have begun. So I'm gonna call it a night. I am going to go drink me some dandelion tea, and I might mix something else with it. I don't know, maybe elderberry. Yeah, and crawl in the bed and call it a night. All right, guys, take care. God bless, and I will see you in the next video sooner rather than later. Bye.